Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review as I'm covering for May 13th, 2024. As this show was really great when it came to everything they had presented with everything that was initially on the card. We had a decent house with everything that was rocking and rolling, with everything, including we had a return of Lillian Garcia, who was there for a one night off. And it was truly decent as they was trying to replicate everything when it came to the Jey Uso entrance. We also had appearance from Drew McIntyre, who berated CM Punk. We also had a decent fatal four-way number one contenders match for the tag team championship, which I truly think it was decent, but did it fully deliver? It was alright for my own personal opinion. We also had quarterfinals on the Raw side of things as we continued with the King of the Ring tournament, and so much more took place when it came tonight. But let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. Everything so saucy for this initial show. It started off with Drew McIntyre coming out for tonight, pretty much in his decent promo. He pretty much digged into CM Punk, the fans. He even got at the general manager of Adam Pearce for the way how he was handling everything that she happened. He also took a couple shots as well at Jey Uso. And of course, he said he took when it came to his spot in the King of the Ring. The crowd really was red hot when it came to booing him. But then, of course, he also took shots at the paper champion Damian Priest. But Priest ended up coming out, and after that situation, that really broke down when it came to their promo, going back and forth with each other. Priest really digged into him, talking about everything, which was his fault. When it came down to winning the World Championship, should have just celebrated at WrestleMania, wanted to go, walked away. His ongoing issues with CM Punk, and pretty much he initially needs to stop blaming everybody and start blaming himself for his downfalls of his initial issues that he's had. And even his downfall when it came to Damian Priest taking advantage of that, of cashing in. And he also blamed him for looking in the mirror and seeing that he initially is an asshole. So I see Damian Priest initially turning face as the fans are really behind him when it came to this initial segment. It was decent for what it was. I enjoyed every single moment when it came to them going back and forth. But then also, Damian Priest really stepped up to a high caliber as he issued a challenge to McIntyre for an initial future date for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship one-on-one for the title. So I look forward to seeing these big men go at it, putting some tense, hard-hitting action when it comes to everything this may unfold. But I'd like to know from you guys' own personal opinion what you felt like about this promo. And also, I highly recommend if you guys can check it out on YouTube or any of your social media accounts. Then we get ready for the quarterfinals for the women's division for the Queen of the Ring. We had Io Sky taking on Shayna Baszler. This match truly delivered when it came to everything under the sun, including the technical side of every lady was able to get off their finishers. I really enjoyed this match. It was a 3.5 out of 5 stars. But it was decent for the women's division as they really stepped up and gave their own. The initial loss ended up happening for Shayna Baszler as she ended up losing to Io Sky, who was able to hit her over the moonsault for the initial pinfall. And Shayna Baszler is now continued to be on that losing streak after initially everything that she broke down. Then we posted up to social media as well on X. I believe they posted up a backstage segment after the situation initially broke down of Shayna Baszler's frustration. And she's looking to regroup and pretty much come out on another hot streak. And hopefully she get a push to get back as being a dominant heel on the Monday Night Raw brand just in general. Then we got ready for a backstage segment of Chad Gable, who was berating the whole entire rest of the Alpha Academy. He went at it at Maxine Dupree as calling her a loser. He was told Akira Tozawa but not blow it tonight in his match. He also told Otis to take care of Sami Zayn tonight for Gable. And as well as they had Ivy Nels walk in and tries to give Maxine Dupree some encouragement. And then Gable walks back in and tells Ivy Nels that she has potential, but she is wasting her time on Taylor No Swift, not so Swift, and that was kind of like when they dig, and the fans was kind of like shocked on that, and they pushed on from there. Then we had another backstage segment. It was Kofi Kingston who said, basically got into his prelude of everything this for the breakdown of his match. He says tonight against Gunther is more about the King of the Ring tournament. It's about revenge for what Gunther did to his boy Xavier Woods by taking him out and injuring him and temporarily putting him on the shelf. Then we got ready for the initial match, which was Kofi Kingston taking on Gunther. This was a lot of back and forth. Kofi was a true legend in this match of controlling the majority of this match. He was selling those chops. He was taking them like a true general. But the ring general really picked apart of everything in Kofi when it came to everything in this match. Gunther continued to work his way on Kofi's legs and initially continued to work his way on everything that initially happened throughout this match. The match continued to continue on an onslaught after things initially broke down, as Gunther was able to pick up the pinfall by hitting that devastating powerbomb and hooking Kofi Kingston and a Boston Crab to have Kofi Kingston submit. After initially everything initially broke down, then Gunther pretty much reigned victorious when it came to everything that initially been pushed. But I enjoyed this match just overall. It was a 4.3 out of 5, but it truly delivered when it came to what these boys can truly do. They have great chemistry, and I really look forward to seeing more of Gunther and Kofi Kingston mixing it up in the near future. But we know Gunther continues to steamroll on his winning victory as he continues to advance towards the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Man, he continues to be doing a phenomenal job as they looking to see how things may transpire in the long run. Then we have Liv Morgan in the backstage second segment. She interrupts an interview between Lyra Valkyria is having an interview, and Morgan basically asks her, berates her, and tells her how she feels about Becky Lynch, and then pretty much digs into more little heat when it came to the situation. And then Lyra pretty much said, "Why don't you ask yourself?" And then Liv Morgan turns around and get decked directly in the face by Becky Lynch and told her, "Don't be a coward. Say what you got to say directly to her face and take it like a G." When it comes to everything that she broke down in that promo, it was funny when it comes to Becky continues to deck everybody from Dominic Mysterio to even Liv Morgan. Even she even got her hands directly when it came to Shayna Baszler, as well. She even decked it Mommy herself when it come to the whole situation. Then we had a decent squash match. We had Big Bronson Reed taking on Akira Tozawa with Chad Gable. Chad Gable pretty much was there at ringside. This match was a whole lot of back and forth. Akira tried to hold his own in the beginning of the match, but Big Bronson Reed was way too much when it came to initially everything that initially broke down. It was a whole lot going on when it came down to the fight situation that happened, as Big Bronson Reed ended up hitting the Death Valley Driver, initially squashing and flattening Tozawa with the tsunami for the initial win. After the match, Chad Gable berates Tozawa for losing and pretty much broke down from that segment, as I don't know what's going on with that whole segment of him continue to be, going at it when it comes to Alpha Academy, but is Alpha Academy initially just going to just snap and just move from their own separate ways when it comes to Chad Gable? But we shall see how things just continue to be pushed and turned, but I look forward to seeing more things being transpired as this storyline continues to pick up in the most passionate way. After things broke down when it came to that whole situation, we had a backstage segment with Luigi Kaiser, who takes a moment to run down Gunther's potential opponents, which is going to either be Jey Uso or Lara Dragunov. And you know, those two, either one of those competitors will be a great feat when it comes to Gunther in the finals. But Gunther knows that he feel like he has an easy breezy, and Kaiser's making sure that that Gunther doesn't take things lightly when it comes to those competitors. But some kind of way I feel Luigi Kaiser is going to be involved, and Gunther's going to be the one to end up being the King of the Ring after things initially break down from there. Then we have our initial announcement for a Fatal 4-1 match to determine the number one contenders for the World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. It's going to be the AOP taking on the New Catch Republic, the Creed Brothers, and the Judgment Day, which the Judgment Day members will be Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Then, of course, we had a backstage segment alongside of that with Braun Breaker, who was trying to figure out where he fits into the fold of Monday Night Raw. But, of course, Adam Pearce just to let him know, like, hey, they're going to have things, big plans for him. He's going to get pushed to the moon. He's got to hang tight, and things will be set in the right motion when it comes to Braun Breaker. He's going to be the number one guy once they figure out what goes on through the lines of towards the fourth quarter of Monday Night Raw. But I feel like towards the end of the year, he'll get his breakout, and he'll be one of the most dominant guys on the main red brand. Then we get ready for the Queen of the Ring quarterfinals match. Zoe Starks versus Lyra Valkyria. This match was a whole lot of moves back and forth, a lot of takedowns. Zoe Starks was really into her own, even though she ended up falling short when it came to this match. But this match truly delivered. This match was a 4.2 out of 5, but I felt like it delivered in the most passionate way of everything that she took off. Valkyria tried to do for a tornado DT, but was countered into a suplex into the corner. But Starks tried to hit the Z360, but it was reversed into a Nightwing for the win, and Valkyria ended up picking up the victory for the 1-2-3. After the match, she had cut a promo in Gallic, and pretty much she said the crowd, as she goes and the crowd flies, and straight to the top. So initially, she's looking to become an MVP and pretty much becoming the queen of the ring. But there's so many women on the SmackDown brand, including Jade Cargill, and so many other ladies, which I feel will be a great fit when it comes to the women's division. After their things broke down with that segment, we had a backstage segment with Jey Uso promised to yeet down on Ilya Dragunov, but we know that match is going to be hard hitting to the rocks, and we know Ilya is not going to be one of those ones that just lay down flat when it comes to his opponent. Then we have the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Otis with Chad Gable again being involved. Otis started off red hot by doing a couple of clubbering blows and controlling majority match using his bigness. But initially, he was taken down when Chad Gable's involvement pretty much caused the big man to lose when it came to giving orders. When Otis initially had the match in his bag when he's about to go for the caterpillar and then set up for the Vader Bomb Splash. But Chad Gable was doing too much talking and pretty much trying to tell Otis what to do throughout the majority of the match. After Otis did hit the caterpillar, Gable distracted him for a little bit too much longer and then basically trying to direct orders. And of course, Otis went for the top rope trying to set up for that lovely Vader bomb, but he initially missed. And then when he was trying to gather himself in the corner, Sami Zayn was able to hit the haluva kick for the initial pinfall for the 1-2-3 to pick the victory over Otis. But the things literally broke down after the match as Chad Gable ended up by-rating and pie-facing Otis. Sami Zayn runs back in the ring and suplexes Gable into the corner. Gable nearly avoids getting hit with the luva kick. Otis helps Gable up, and then Gable tells Otis it's his fault, and then slaps Otis as the fans did not like the whole situation that see happen, and they were chanting for Otis to basically just break away from Chad Gable as things continue to be followed as they went to the back. Then we have a backstage segment where JD McDonough gets into Braun Strowman's face and tells him to stay out of Judgment Day's business. Strowman laughs about it, and you know JD McDonough does not look intimidating when it comes to Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is just a big monster beast, and it's like a little miniature chihuahua trying to go at it with a German Shepherd or a big boxer, and it's just not looking good when it comes to JD. JD may end up getting himself hurt, but I feel like he's slowly turning into a comedy act as he's got this vibes, this no personality, but pretty much just can go in the ring. But I feel like they're just going to toy with him, throw him around, and he's going to take all those comedy spots or just jabs or getting injuries where it's just going to make people laugh in the long run. Then we end up having women's action on the card. We had Becky Lynch taking on Dakota Kai with Damage Control at ringside. This match was a whole lot of back and forth. Everybody was able to get off their technical moves. I really enjoyed the whole entire hot take of this match. This match truly delivered in the most passionate way. It gave everything from under the sun. Suplexes, arm bars, everything you initially can get. Dakota Kai held her own when it came to getting off her it kicks and so much more. But the initial disqualification happened after Dakota Kai was in the wings of being tapped out by the disarmer. But Damage Control got involved and pretty much put the beat down to Becky Lynch and caused Lyra Valkyria to come and make the save. But in the confusion, Liv Morgan hopped the barricade to send Becky Lynch to the post, and Morgan slipped away. And the quickness is playing those heel tactics as things initially broke down. From there, as pretty much Liv Morgan was doing her own entire heel kind of tactics, basically dropping the little tear until towards the camera, saying "Cry Me a River," and pretty much gave her little heel tactics in that whole situation. Then, of course, we ended up having a nice little sweet little fatal four-way, which was New Catch Republic versus the Judgment Day versus the Creed Brothers and AOP. All competitors were able to get off their signature moves, tag team transitional moves, a lot of back and forth. But in overall, I felt like this was a sleeper, but it gave a 3.7 out of 5. But it still was a decent fatal four-way, and it was a lot of back and forth, including moonsaults. Razor and Akam was really truly being dominant throughout this match. New Catch Republic were doing everything they can to the situation, but I feel like they're still playing that small pit bull rule maneuver when it came to everything. And then, of course, Pete Dunne tries to powerbomb Balor on the commentary desk, but Carlito appears out of nowhere and backstabbers Pete Dunne on the commentary desk. And then Balor lands his double stomp. Of course, the coup de grace initially in the ring after rolling him back in for the initial pinfall, as Judgment Day celebrated to pick up the victory to become the number one contenders for the WWE World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. But I look forward to seeing a long-term booking with Carlito as he's trying to push his way to becoming part of Judgment Day. But we know that's not going to happen when it comes to Damian Priest, as he still does not trust Carlito in the long run. Then, of course, initially, we have a backstage segment with Judgment Day after the victory. We have Dominic Mysterio and along with Damian Priest as they had their nice, decent promo, talking back and forth. And then we had Judgment Day coming there, Finn Balor and JD McDonough come celebrating with Carlito hugging and smiling. And, of course, Judgment Day went straight to business as Damian Priest really got on Carlito's head to say, hey, you need to handle your business when it comes to Rey Mysterio and handle Judgment Day's business. And he may consider the trade-off when it comes to initially what may happen. But of course, he still doesn't trust Carlito in the long run. But we shall see what happens in the near future with this storyline progressing with Rey Mysterio being involved with the LWO alongside Carlito's situation. Then we got ready for the main event of the night. Of course, everything was red hot. Jey Uso interest really popped off everything. Ilya was making his way directly out. Of course, he had a face-off with Gunther, and you smelled the blood in the water when it came to that. But initially, this match was hard-hitting. Ilya really delivered when it came to everything in his direct singles main event. Shoulder blocks, strikes back and forth, transitional moves, chain wrestling. You pretty much got everything when it came to this match, and I truly enjoyed everything under the sun in this match. The initial things that he broke down at the commentary desk after things broke out, as well as a couple of furious super kicks for a near fall. And then, of course, Ilya was trying to go for that torpedo miscue, but he ended up missing and getting countered with the spear by Jey Uso. And then, of course, Jey Uso went to the top rope, and they ended up hitting that Uso splash for the 1-2-3. After the match is where the cutting edge happened as Gunther walks out to laugh at Dragunov. Then he stares down. Then he has to stare down with Jey Uso to cut the initial show. I enjoyed everything about this Monday Night Raw. It was decent for what it was. It was better than last week's. And I look forward of more of the storytelling into the finals of the King of the Ring tournament on the men's side of Monday Night Raw. as we end up having Gunther versus Jey Uso, which is going to truly deliver 100% in the long run. I'd like to know from you guys' own personal opinion. Post your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. And of course, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, y'all be safe. Peace.